Okay, so we always do the pre-flight inspection, walk around, make sure everything's good. Just put 5 gallons in, so we've got almost full fuel. Oil's good, battery's connected. Okay, flaps, elevator, rudder. So our flap handle, again, is right here. As you can see, it's got indications on it. Yeah. So 0 degrees, 15 degrees, and 25. We never use 25, really, unless it's emergency, because it just makes everything so sloppy and very slow. So for takeoff, we use 15. Okay. When we taxi, we don't use anything. Brake handle, again, is here. Okay. So to slow down, just pull up on this, slows you down. Yep. Throttle handle's right here. Adding power, brings it forward. Taking away reduces our thrust. Okay, our elevator, of course, is controlled with our stick. Back is up, forward is down, back is up, forward is down. And then, of course, our rudder, our 2 pedals down here. Okay. I like to have my ankles back and my big toe be on the top crossbar. Okay. That gives me the most authority. So we're going to steer by pushing left. And remember, if you push with your left, your right must come up. You push with your right, your left must come up. They don't work if you push on both at the same time. Sure. Equal and opposite.
We want to be to the right of the yellow stripe?
We actually want to be right on the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
So left rudder, and I'll have you steer us. There you go. And the best way to do it is just like when you're driving a car.
Oversteer.
Look in the distance.
Yes.
So look at that tree line and then have your eyes follow that yellow line. Because if you're trying to look down here, you're going to be making minute movements that don't matter in the long run. Yeah. Hey, that's all good. Avionics are good.
Metro traffic 229 Mike Echo, final 33 Metro.
So it sounds like other airplanes are using runway 33. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to this first intersection here and turn to the right. So this first driveway to the right we're going to take. Down taxiway.
We need to stop?
Nope. As long as there's no one coming, we just look both ways.
Oh, there's one the other way.
We'll push with our right foot. Come right around. Alright, so I've set our GPS to take us to Columbus, and that's a controlled field, so we'll have to talk to the controller there, and he'll tell us what we need to do.
Okay.
We'll add a little bit of brake here. What we're going to do is pull off to the right, and we're going to go all the way down to this corner here, and then face the runway, and we're going to do our run-up. You might remember from last time, we'll get a little bit closer to the right, a little bit more right rudder here. We want to be a good
Metro traffic,
neighbor.
Mike Echo, left crosswind, 33
So if another airplane wanted to come and do their run up here, they'd have space next to us.
Gotcha.
We set our parking brake. It's good to go. And we've got our fuel valve, which is this guy here. So that's open. That's closed.
Okay.
That's open. Open is what we want, of course. That allows fuel to get from fuel tank to the engine. We're going to now do our mag check. So these are the magnetos. They control spark plugs. So the spark that goes to the plugs, actually. So 4 spark plugs and 4 spark plugs. We've got redundancy on our 4-cylinder engine. We've got 8 spark plugs for it.
Okay.
But conceivably, we can lose half of them and the engine will still run fine. It'll run with the reduced RPM, and that's what we're checking for, is to check the reduced RPM. So I'm going to hold the brake. I want you to get on the throttle here. And you see our RPMs there? Yes. 1900. Bring it up to 4,000 RPMs. Ow. If you go over it, it's okay. Just bring it back a little bit. Yep, go ahead. Good, Dale. Okay. 1 off. We're looking for a drop in RPM. It's stabilized. We're looking okay over here. Back on. Back to normal. Right off. Looks good. Everything's stable over here. Back on. And back to normal. We're going to look over here and check our oil pressure. As long as everything's looking good here, we'll go throttle to idle, all the way back. And we're checking to make sure that the engine doesn't shut off prematurely.
Metro traffic 229 Mike Echo, left base, 33 Metro.
Okay, so there's another airplane who's on what we call base. So he's on the far end getting ready to turn on final. I bet if we turn to the right, we'll see him.
It does have a cabin heat. I was talking to my friend Mike about that.
Metro
Whether it had a
traffic
cabin
229 Mike
Oh,
Echo,
yeah.
final 33 Metro.
It's not the best thing in the world, but it works. Okay, so while we're on the ground here, we've got our mag checks complete, our instruments and oil temperature within limits, everything's looking good there. Our flight controls.
Metro traffic,
When we fly,
7 November,
left
call
hand.
to the north, maneuvering 2,000 feet. Metro.
First finger and thumb. First finger goes right behind there under the ridge. Thumb goes right underneath behind the ridge. Hand rests on the thigh. That way it's your fine motor skills of your fingers and not of your arm and your wrist. So this is all you need like this, okay? So when we go to take off, you're gonna have your right hand on the throttle. You're gonna bring us to full power over the course of 3 seconds, and then you're gonna leave it there. Remember, if you set the RPM, it'll just stay. You don't need to keep pressure. And then once we hit 40 knots, that's our rotation speed, all you're gonna do is just this. That'll take us off, we'll be up and away. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna check our flight instruments right now. We're moving, looks good. Feels good, I'm not feeling any binding, nothing, there's no issues I've noticed, feels good.
Traffic, now Mike Echo on the go, 33 man, West Coast traffic, Metro.
Our doors, mine's shut and latched. Yours is good, secure, how's your seatbelt feel? Good, my seatbelt's good, okay. Our choke is off, our trim is set to neutral. Our flaps, we're gonna use 15 degrees, which is right here. Our fuel is at 90%, and we're ready to radio departure. So, we'll take the brake off. Use our left rudder to move us to the left. There we go.
Indy Metro, lights forward, 524 Victor, departing runway 33. Gonna be a southbound departure, Indy Metro.
Okay, so we always do a little bit of an S-turn.
229 Mike Echo, left, crosswind, 33 Metro.
Looking right, making sure there's nobody out there that could be coming in without a radio, because that does happen. Looks good. We're going to cross over this line. This is called the demarcation line, or the threshold. And we're coming up on the runway. Okay, so here we are. See the number's 33?
Yes.
330 degrees is our
Indy Metro
compass heading.
traffic, Diamond Star 431, Delta Echo 10 to the north, inbound for landing.
Okay,
runway
so whenever you're
33,
ready,
Indy Metro.
right hand on the throttle.
Metro
left hand, just
traffic,
keep it in the
229
center,
Mike
so
Echo,
let go of the
left
stick
downwind,
real quick.
33 Metro.
Okay, so see that's the center?
Sure.
The airplane will stay where it's supposed to.
Okay.
All you have to do is just barely keep your fingers on it. And then when you're ready, over the course of 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3, full power.
Let's go in.
Okay, we'll push with our right foot just a little to keep us on the center line, and all the way, full power. Good. Airspeed's alive, rotate, and we're off and running. So we're looking for about 60 knots on our airspeed for our climb out. So if we're going slow, nose over. If we're going fast, we pull back. So our throttle's at full power, and we're climbing out at about 60. Looks real good. Okay, so we got what we call a positive rate of climb established. We're going to drop our flaps. You'll notice it'll speed us up a little bit.
Okay.
Metro traffic 229 Mike Echo, left base 33 Metro.
Just like that.
What's our desired airspeed?
So when we're in cruise, we'll probably be somewhere around 95, 100 knots. So we can pull back on the stick a little bit during our climb to get us up to about 70 knots. And we're looking for about this altitude before we begin our crosswind turn. So at this point, we're ready to turn crosswind. So just roll to the left slightly, right about there, hold it. And just keep us right here. Perfect. So we begin our heading to the left.
229 Mike Echo, final 33 Metro.
All right. How are you feeling, Dale?
Pretty good.
Move the mic so it's in front of your lips.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty good. I just wanted to make sure. It's one of those things where trying to take it all in. And I know as we progress, there'll be things that I will ignore because they aren't required to know.
Yeah, pretty much everything on this panel.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it except for airspeed.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so it looks like we're going to be flying just past metro air, or not metro airspace, but international airspace, or Indy International. And that's indicated by a magenta line. You see that line there?
Sure.
And that's traffic down my
So as long as we stay to the left of that, which our path is going to take us to the left, we're good to go.
And I got the traffic on just going to the field, metro.
Now we've got some options. So we need to remain 500 feet below these clouds.
Okay.
Or we can go 1,000 feet above them. So as we're cruising along here at 3,200 feet, we're right about 500 feet below the cloud shelf. So what that allows us to do is to see the different things that are on the ground. You can see the city down there, and you can see the roads and ground references. Once we're up there, it's going to seem like you're above ocean waves.
Right.
Now there's more clouds on this side than there are over towards the east. So once we get up there, we can go as high as we want. And if we climb up to, let's say, 10,000 feet, then our airspeed is going to increase pretty substantially, which could be kind of fun. So right now we're showing 87 knots airspeed, 94 knots ground speed.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is level off at 3,500, right about here.
And what's our altimeter? Okay, there you go.
3,500 feet. And I've set the trim, so we should be able to let go of the stick, and it'll stay right around 3,500 feet or so.
Pay attention to our course heading. I'm coming over to the left.
So we want 173, and we're using this compass here because you use the same tool for a reference point. Notice this is 179 degrees or 178. This says 173.
Right.
So they're a little off, and this one's showing about 1.8 or so. So we always want to use the reference point that we're using. So if we're using our GPS, which is going to be the most accurate, we're going to go ahead and use that as the reference. So This tells us follow 173, and we're at 175 right now, which is close enough.
Okay.
So we don't want to split hairs over 1 or 2 degrees.
Wasn't sure how important that was.
Yeah. So this says we're now 35 miles away. When we took off, we were 40 miles away from Columbus. And our estimated time en route is 21 minutes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
There's the city over there. If you want, we can climb above the clouds.
I think we're getting there anyway.
It'll be warmer. For full power. You can see our ground speed's 77, 78. So we're about 10.
Is it because of a headwind?
10 to 12. So we're actually moving faster over the ground than we are wind coming over our wings. So that means we have a tailwind.
A tailwind, okay.
Pushing
opposite.
us. I really think we'll benefit once we get above 8,000 or so.
It'll really push us along?
Yeah. So we're about 1,000 feet above the clouds right now. I'm going to go ahead and lower our nose a little bit with the trim. And what that'll do is speed us up.
Great view up here.
Beautiful day to fly.
Iceport 524 Victor, Columbus.
Iceport 524 Victor, 7 miles to the north, inbound for landing at 7,200.
524 Victor, report a right down, correction left downwind, runway 5, 10108, altimeter 3054.
We'll report a left downwind, runway 5, Iceport 524 Victor.
Would 5 work out for you?
Sure, that
right there. So there's our airport. Yeah. So I was wrong. He's telling us to use runway 5, but I guess that's close enough to 36.
Yeah, because the side of it. Closer than 3-2.
So what's really nice about the GPS is it extends, see those green and blacks? Yeah. It extends the runway heading.
Oh, to get a glide path.
Yeah, so you can get a good idea of where you're going to go. So we're pretty darn high at this point.
Yeah.
Our throttle, we can drop that back to idle. And go ahead and take the stick there, and I'll walk you through our landing. All we need to do is aim, so you see the cross?
Yes.
We're going to aim for this runway down here as we dive down, and then we'll join in what's called the downwind as we head down for 5. Once we're on downwind, I'm going to tell them we're downwind, and then we're going to turn to left base, and then a final and come in on runway 5, which is the one coming this way.
Okay. So we need to go this way?
So we're going to go down, right, left, and then we'll land. Okay. So if you just push our nose down, you can bring our airspeed up to as high as 132. Let's try and go around the cloud though. So throttle should be at idle, because we don't need throttle when we're descending. And we're just going to go right in between these two clouds here.
Okay.
Columbus Tower, helicopter 2 Tango Tower, we're still with you.
So we'll hold it right here.
Tango Charlie, please change clear.
It looks like we're going to go over this cloud.
All right.
Because our airspeed is built a little bit faster than we can get down. And as soon as we're over it, we're going to lower our nose. There we go. Feel that bump?
Yeah.
So there's our airspeed. We don't want to go over 135.
I would slow down.
So pretty much what you're doing is just pull back, but we'll hold it right about a 132. And at this point, we'll go ahead and call downwind.
Upper tower light 4524 Victor on left downwind for runway 5.
524 Victor, not sight, runway 5, clear to land.
Runway 5, clear to land, light 4524 Victor.
On that whole velocity never exceed thing.
Yeah.
How hard and fast is that?
So every aircraft manufacturer has to set a limit. And normally they set it based on what the capabilities of the aircraft are. Pipistrel has set theirs at what the light sport maximums are. So you see 5, that's where we're going to land?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pass it. We're going to keep going down.
Then we're going to turn left and nose down.
Yep, and we'll make a left turn once we hit about 1,500 feet or so.
Einstein wrote a paper about river meandering.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Here's our left turn. Good, and we'll hold it right here to roll out of it. So we're going to do a 90-degree turn.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do is get in a notch of flaps. So we need to get below 70 before we put that in. We keep our nose up. There we go, 1 notch of flaps. Pull up until it locks in place. There you go. Let our nose come over. Now we're still a little bit high. So what we're going to do is called a forward slip to land.
Okay.
That means we're going to put the airplane like this.
Okay.
And that's going to make us lose altitude. So we're going to push with our right foot. Lower our left wing. And we're going to hold ourselves right about there. Here. Feel how we just sort of hit it into a sink?
What's our, and it's a
called a forward slip to landing.
what is our airspeed Not to drop below. What's our stall speed?
Stall speed in this airplane is 34, so we could do
Oh, we're doing really well then.
half of what we're doing now.
Towers, Airport 5 with you on the south ramp.
And we'll roll out of it.
Delta back to the maintenance shop road, please.
How's that?
And we'll hold it.
Procedures requested.
Thank you, Airport 5.
And we'll hold it. Above, there we are. I bounced in just a little bit of power to get us over the grass. And we'll exit via Delta. We're just going to pull off here. And again, we've got the yellow brick road to follow. Okay, so we're just going to park right next to him. Oh no, it's not a kit box. That's a Canadian plane. Canadian kit plane. What the hell is it called? Aerotrack.
Oh.
Aerotrack A220.
Handsome aircraft.
A indeed. So all we're going to do now is just pull into this T.
Okay.
Right like so.
Brakes.
And we'll stop right here. Apply the parking brake. Shut down procedure. Check everything over. Make sure everything looks like it's good. Everything's in the green. We got 76% of fuel. All that looks healthy. We're going to reset our trim back to neutral. Turn the avionics switch off.